will see later when with the challenges that the motivation of students is a very key factor in developing these different skills we are talking about. The skills of lecturers, the skills of the companies receiving them, industrial attachment can be inputs, but as long as the student is not well motivated, does not have passion for learning, it will be useless. Volunteerism is another soft skill. Ability to ask and apply. Job searching skills and competitiveness, spirit, the spirit of competitiveness. These are some of the skills that were quite often coming into the speeches and the interviews we conducted. Some of the challenges that were identified on the student side, as I was saying previously, the mindset is one of the biggest challenge. Students sometimes focusing on obtaining marks more than obtaining skills was often highlighted. Lack of communication skills was also another challenge highlighted, and students, especially from the company, students were blamed of having too much theoretical skills than practical skills. And there was also this issue of ideas on new technologies existing on the market. And they were saying, from the companies, they were saying that students and teachers do not follow the technology. The lack of sense of responsibility from students was another challenge faced by companies. When it comes to industrial attachments, students prefer to go to organizations which will not give them high pressure, which will lead them to learn. They prefer those financing students during industrial attachments. Students will prefer to go to companies which are offering financing, even if they are not getting anything from them. From the universities, these challenges were highlighted. There is a lack of information about the companies, and here specifically, I remember in some of the discussions, companies saying, universities, when you are about to send students to our companies for industrial attachment, you don't know even what we are offering. You just send students, you don't even visit us to know who we are, what we are delivering, and how can your students benefit from them. There is also the issue of limited resources, especially human and material resources, which sometimes may affect also how the students are followed during the industrial attachments when they visit the companies. Outdated materials and equipment were also highlighted for some of the higher learning institutions, and companies which do not have much to offer during the interaction with students, but they keep collaborating with higher learning institutions without being denounced. From the company side, the limitation to access company equipment was one of the challenges. When we send students for industrial attachments, some of the companies will simply let the students stand aside, observe, but not touch anything. Mainly because of the worry that when the student will touch, he or she will spoil the equipment. And it was connected to the other challenge we talked about related to how much practice students come from school with. Because companies perceive those students going there as being too theoretical and not practical, and therefore they don't trust them with their own equipment. There is also the issue that when universities want to send the students for industrial attachments, we tend to select the same period, and then with our still beginning industry, companies will end up being overwhelmed with many students requesting for industrial attachments. This one was said already. Students and teachers who have issues with new technologies. The materials used for follow-up of students in industrial attachment was also seen as sometimes not clear to mentors at the industry. But this is also connected to the fact that sometimes those mentors are not followed up by the universities and higher learning institutions to give them training in mentorship, and so that they can understand even this fact of assessing students and following them up in their activities. There is also a lack of a formal structure for industrial attachment at all levels. At universities, sometimes the policy are missing, but also at company level, and specifically at company levels, there is this issue of a policy. And sometimes it prevents when it comes to determining some of the activities, but also some of the facilities, because this question was mostly raised when we talked about a possibility for companies to support at least transport and lunch for students going for industrial attachment. And some of the staff then were saying, we don't have a framework for doing that. They don't have a clear framework. And internees are sometimes not given the tasks that are at the level of what they are going there for. And like you can see in some companies, they will be changed into clerks, messengers, waiters, but not be given a specifically the task that they have been there for, they have gone there for. Maybe most probably because of that training of mentors we have talked about, because of that lack of trust that the internees can do what they can do, and also because of the lack of the framework I was talking about previously. We also, as I said at the beginning, discussed the collaboration between academia, industry, and government as a shared responsibility in building these skills. And one of the challenges that has surfaced was that higher learning institutions remember about companies when it is time for industrial attachment, in most of the cases. I'm saying in most of the cases because there are evidences of some activities that are done by some of our higher learning institutions in building this collaboration. There are few memorandum of understanding with higher learning institutions, and this, in some situation, it limits the cooperation. And where the memorandum of understanding exists, sometimes they are just kept in shelves and they are not put into implementation. Some of our learning institutions with no interest in mentoring and supervising internees. This was because it was revealed that some of the higher learning institutions will just send the internees to companies, and that's it. They won't take time to visit them, to know what they are doing, to collect information from the company on how the student is learning, progressing in learning, what challenges the student is facing or the company is facing, etc. Higher learning institution sending internees without knowing what is exactly offered by the company. I already said this. So mainly these are what was revealed by our interviews with companies, and as you can see, it is one-sided. We are here talking about the company perspective, not the university perspective. Maybe after this presentation, we will have time to discuss also this aspect from the university perspective, what challenges exist with collaboration. So the area for improvement and recommendations were that there should be a formalization of collaboration between higher learning institutions and industry. But this formalization is usually a responsibility of the government, and I think this is addressed to the government institutions, especially the Ministry of Education. I know that they have started some of the guidelines with regard to industrial attachment, but collaboration, as it was indicated by the interviews, goes beyond industrial attachments, and it can cover different other aspects. For instance, involvement in other activities at the higher learning institutions, or involvement in activities at the companies. Integrate and conduct collaborative research between higher learning institutions and between higher learning institutions and industry. companies in other activities such as curriculum development, open day, career fairs, etc. Here also I have to mention the fact that currently the Ministry of Education has as a policy that any curriculum approval that comes from a higher learning institution needs to show the role that has been played by the higher learning, the companies, the industry. So it's not that nothing is done. There are steps that are being taken, mainly because of these challenges that were identified. Executing curricula together is another aspect, maybe which will require also an intervention from the government, the Higher Education Council, because of the standards of who can teach where. Because in my understanding, the experience of an industry participant cannot be considered, is not already considered as the basis to allow someone to teach. Although for higher learning institutions, it's possible to invite those people with experience as guest lecturers, with experience from the companies, as guest lecturers of 1 or 2 days. The period of industrial attachment to allow the students to get time to be acquainted with the company, but also to develop some of the soft skills is also another recommendation. Both universities and companies must take industrial attachment or internship as an opportunity, a win-win opportunity, because as you can sense in what I have already presented, sometimes companies will feel like the student has come there to study, and the higher learning institutions will feel like when the student is gone to industrial attachment, it's the responsibility of the company. So considering this industrial attachment as an opportunity for benefiting is an important factor that can improve this type of activity of skills development. Here we have also some of the recommendations that were given to each of the main actors. Increase practice, especially on campuses, to reduce the burden on companies. I have already mentioned this, that for companies, they see that students who are coming are often with much theories than practice, and therefore for them they feel like it's an additional activity of training them in practice. And as you can understand, companies are profit oriented. They don't want to have this additional burden. Use service learning activities, collaborative research, volunteerism, projects as opportunities of developing skills of students. Then help students have the ability to adapt to the world's, to the changing situation which is existing in the world of work. To industries, the study recommends industries to have an internal policy for internship, because it will create a framework to mentor students, to facilitate students, etc. And internship providers should remember that they have full responsibility over interns, because those interns will later become their employees, and they have a responsibility in ensuring that they acquire what they have come to look for. Lastly, to the government, establish a platform of regular exchange between higher learning institutions, industry, and the government, simply because this kind of platform will play a triple role for this collaboration. First of all, such a platform will be very instrumental in building trust between the company, between the government, and the university, because this constitutes a strong foundation on which collaborations are built. The second one is a kind of easing the boundaries, institutional boundaries between the institutions, because collaboration requires to broaden the boundaries so that you can let in your partner and have them access some of the things that usually you feel like they are risky. Allowing students to touch the equipments, allowing students to access some of the sensitive information of the company during the industrial attachment. Those sometimes they are forbidden simply because of the strong boundaries, strong institutional boundaries that are built and that do not allow an effective exchange and collaboration. So, simply said, here we have tried to take this as a case study of some of the challenges that are faced in Rwanda when it comes to knowledge and skills development, the aspect of collaboration and the aspect of industrial attachment. We thank you very much for your attention, and if the moderator allows, we can open the microphone for further interventions, further compliments, but also for any question if there is. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, it's time for interventions, inputs, questions, observations. We need another mic, and somebody else can help me. There is another mic over there.
Good morning. Thank you very much for the presentation. I just wanted to comment on the framework, that is the attachment framework. And you have talked of some provision for lunch and transport. I don't know whether I have heard you correctly, but back in Kenya, that is also what we are facing. But this is the advice I give to my students, that getting an attachment vacancy is a privilege. Getting that vacancy to practice the skills is a privilege. So let us not pester the industry so much to provide that lunch, that transport. Some of the students may even go ahead to ask for accommodation. So I advise them that it is a privilege to get that opportunity, so that we be careful. Thank you very much.
Robert Meyer from Leipzig University. It's Thank you very much for this very insightful presentation and all the observations that you have presented to us. I think this is very rich, and we should pay attention to this. And here I'm talking to my colleagues from the Access project, especially when we are talking about how to proceed with the Access project. So I hope that we can get the slides for this, and I hope that we find ways to implement this. And I would like to challenge at this moment the students here in the room as well to react from their side, because there's a tendency of students in such an event being shy and calm and not raising the voice. So please raise your voices. This is your...
You are part of the environment. You have not come in the morning, WhatsApp, Facebook, and you are sitting there, and you expect me to hand over my things to you. No. I'll be afraid. So you still be, go and buy me something, go and buy me something. But when I realize that, oh, but how, is there any job I can help you with? What is this? Can I learn from the, oh, you are going for a meeting, can I support you? How is this done? Then I know that you need something, then I'll help you. If you wait for the opportunity to fall down because you are doing engineering, we should give you engineering machine. I will not do that, and I believe our employers will also not do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation. Simple, direct, and easy to follow. By my understanding, your presentation is largely premised on the triple helix model, because you've laid a lot of emphasis on the right interface between the educational system, the industry, and of course, government. And on several occasions I heard you saying that certain things will need a specific governmental intervention. Much of what you said is highly appreciated, but I just want to draw our attention to some other dynamics that must be taken into consideration for an effective knowledge and skills development system. You've, in your presentation, rightly focused on three, but I think there are some other dimensions which have been addressed by the principal helix model that we also need to begin to pay effective attention to. There is the economic system, there is the contribution of civil society, and there is also the considerations of the natural environment within which knowledge and skills are to be generated and also deployed. So I believe that for any institution, for any organization that is very serious about knowledge development, skills development, and also transmission, we must pay adequate attention to all the dynamics that are at play. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ralph from Ghana. What I want to add is that at internship, we have to train our students to be serious. In my department, we have 1 semester internship. 1 full semester. They go out there, we visit them twice. We started with 7 students. The department is 40 years this year. We have over 200. How do we work it out? The lecturers are overstretched checking them. However, we cannot get printing presses and publishing houses all over. So there's now other non-traditional places. The nature of our course, we can work in all media houses. So you have to train them, and we give them orientation. 1 week orientation before they go. If you go and you mess up, we repeat the year. That's how serious we are. We repeat the year. You are supposed to be there on time. and leave. And if there is any reason why you cannot be there, you inform them. We also sign a code of sexual harassment and other forms of harassment with the companies. And we have it as a policy in our university, KNUST, a whole policy on internship. Let me give you some key scenarios. Some students want to go to places where they will get money. In 2001, January, in Leipzig, we do internship with industry. Most of my mates went to Germany, West Germany, where they have money, some even about 1,000 euros. I went to Chamber of Commerce and Industry. They told me, we cannot give you money. 2, we don't speak English here. It's only German. I took the challenge. And what I'm benefiting today is because of what they taught me. They said, if you are willing to learn, and you don't expect money from us, 1, learn German language. 2, be disciplined. This is not Africa discipline. 1 is 1, not 1 past 1. The first week was crazy. The second example, in my center, the center of business, when I started, I come to work by 6:30. All my internship, national service, you are supposed to be there. If I close at 8, you are supposed to be there. Somebody will say, I am enslaving them. To the glory of God. You can ask the Germans who are here. All my students who have gone through Leipzig University, they come as either the best students or among the best. Because the discipline started from Ghana. You be called crazy as a lecturer or as a boss for internship with me and it's 1 minute late, that is the end. You are fired. So until we give them that discipline, and I'm confident to leave my office because I know I have disciplined people to work with. It is not always easy. At times, as the boss, you have to sacrifice some money for them. I mean, if they are doing everything, at the end of the year, I get my salary, I give them a little bit of it because they are doing my work for me at times. So it is a balanced sort of thing. Now the last I want to add is a national internship policy. Ghana wanted to have that. I was part of the committee. It didn't work for the simple reason that students were saying we have to pay them. And we are producing 100,000 students a year as graduates. Who is going to pay that money? Let's go to NGOs. And the NGOs were saying this is Ghana business. Why do you always want to come to the white man for money? So that is the major problem we have as students who come from up north. Because of accommodation, they cannot go to Accra, which is the city, to get internship. And I know maybe Kigali can accommodate a lot of your students, but where is the accommodation? So that is the challenge we are facing. Those who do not have the means, they end up staying in Kumasi. And some of them too, they are a bit funny. They tell us if we leave the place, we will lose our girlfriends and boyfriends. That is the other side of it. This thing, don't take it for granted. The students know what they want. And they'll tell you, they'll not tell me, because they may lose a mark. So you hear in between them that they don't want to go to these places. Then there are others too where they have tagged them that when you go to this company, there are men who harass you. So no matter what you do, the students will never go there. They will not tell you. So these are my interventions. Thank you.
Thank you. I would say that your intervention somehow came as answering the intervention of the first person to intervene, who was questioning the issue of giving lunch and transport to students going for industrial attachments. This may happen, especially industrial attachment, linked to what the student is studying. Sometimes students, because of the low purchasing power or economic capacity, they will end up selecting industrial attachment in a city or in a place where they find facilities. And the industrial attachment, the company they will choose will be dictated simply by that factor, that economic factor. And it will become an opportunity cost for the student, because he or she will not have chosen the best industrial attachment for him because of lack of means. That's the reason why it was suggested here. But Payment for industrial attachment, I don't think it is something that can be asked, because I agree with the intervener. Having the opportunity to do the practical is a privilege for the student. But facilitating the student to get the right industrial attachment, considering the economic issues they have, is what we were talking about here. Before maybe we give the next round of interventions, I think that so far what was said was about comments and compliments. Only the question was about the analytical framework of the research. I would like to refer to what, unfortunately, they have not given the names when they asked, they gave the interventions. But one of the interveners talked about the triple helix model of knowledge creation, if you want, innovation and knowledge creation. The triple helix model, looking at how the interaction between the industry in a country. Of this, of the knowledge development and the skills development. Thank you. Other round of interventions, if there are, we can. I'm being told that because of time, we can close and keep discussions later in the health break. Is it? Okay. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Cyrus. I think we may proceed with the next panel session because the health break is not yet there. Then we take like 45 minutes or 40 minutes. By the time it comes, and we have finished already, then it will be okay, instead of wasting time waiting for the health break. I would like to invite Dr. Ralph Adu Nyado. Yes. Yes. To moderate the next session, and as I explained in the morning, on the panel we have representative of SPAC and the representative of STEM discussing the practical role of external stakeholders in boosting market-driven learning. So, as the moderator is preparing for the panel, just, yes.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I have a whip. So if you don't cooperate, our story is going to be after the snack break. So I was aspiring to eat and have the energy to moderate. By the absence of it, you have to help me. Can we have our panelists? Can I see by hand if they are here? The panelists for this session. Gons, are they here? Okay, shall we please give them an applause? Please, clapping is free. Let me see you clapping. It's not easy coming up stage. We don't have a lady. This is gender bias. Oh, my ladies, what do you think? Can I have a lady? There is a free chocolate for a lady. Please come. Oh. Okay. The access projects, if I looked at it critically, everything we do, 50% is to be for ladies. Or, Robert, am I lying? Our indicators.
This is what is supposed to be, but on the side of the board, we have to work on this.
Even the board even have a challenge with ladies representation. Okay, thank you. We'll first start by asking you to introduce yourself. We have a culture in Ghana. Wherever we go, we want to share gifts, show our love. And this gift, you only eat it on Valentine's Day. In Ghana, 14th February is called Chocolate Day. We want our youth to enjoy the chocolate we produce. We don't want them to do anything else. So I'll first give you one, but give it to your wife if you are married. If not, give it to one of your girlfriends you love most. Is that okay? Okay. This is the best chocolate you can have in the world. For my immediate right, can you please start by introducing yourself and what you do?
Hello, good morning once again. I wish you Happy New Year. We're still in the Feb. My name's Oscar Zairambaho. I'm working for Spark as Senior Agribusiness Advisor and Coach. Maybe I can introduce a bit on Spark, if you allow me.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, tell us what you do specifically. A bit of what you do in that position.
Yeah. So, first of all, Spark is a Dutch organization and is based in Amsterdam, but it's working in all over 30 countries, including Rwanda, and is working from Rwanda since 2011. The mission is to develop the higher education and entrepreneurship for empower the young, ambitious people, mostly to lead their fragile society into prosperity. So my role is to advise Spark management as well as our partners, so-called the beneficiaries in the last version, in terms of agribusiness and business opportunity, so that they can boost their business and get more profit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's something I did in Benin. I realized that from the board members of Access to the rest, nobody was concentrating. So I asked that the internet to be switched off. Please, shall we switch our phones off, if you wouldn't mind? All laptops should be closed. Sure. Immediately.
Sure.
We are here for this program. Let us concentrate. If for any reason you think you have to use your stuff, come to me. Let us please switch all our phones. Let us concentrate here. If for any reason I see your laptop on, you have problem with me. That's a typical African dictator. Shall we please do that? I know some of you are working, your offices are open, but let us concentrate. Thank you. Prosper, thank you for what you do. Can we have your name and please your position and what you are doing as far as this topic is concerned? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning once again. My name is Peter Newenshuti. I work for the company of STEM Power Organization. as electronics officer in the company, from which we work with high learning institutions and hands-on skills by building laboratories in the universities and in the community around, in promoting hands-on skills around the community where the university is situated. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That means you are really generous. Are you in Ghana?
Rwanda.
Only Rwanda?
No, in sub-Saharan countries, but we are still building in different countries.
Is it a grant or universities have to pay for the services?
It's free.
Free?
Yes.
Shall we clap for him? So please contact him. We are here to network. Now let's come to the main subject matter. Perhaps you can start for us. We are talking about practical role of external stakeholders. We have the policymakers, we have academia, and we have businesses, and some of you with support services. Practically, how do you think this can be realized? How has your relationship with the universities been? Maybe I will have to start with that. Ever since you started, what has been your experience working with universities?
Thank you very much for that potential question, because when I read on that topic to discuss about, I had many questions about external, who is external, who is internal, who is external stakeholder, but stakeholder is always stakeholder, whoever comes from or is from. So coming to your question, you can't say market-driven learning without including the investors. Because if you say market, it's a kind of making money. How can you make money without investing? So this is a paramount role, let's say in learning, although learning can understand mostly academia, but I think we have to emphasize and bring in the strong relationship and, let's say, opportunity sharing, so that it can attract the investors and come and invest in the learning services to produce the learners who are well equipped with the market competition, or with the business winners, so that they can be competitive on the market. So I think that is the answer that I can give to you.
Let me zero it in. Your experience working with academia, has it been easy? What has been some of the challenges?
I think it is not easy.
Can you share one or two practical experience with us so that we'll learn from it?
Yeah, it is not easy. And ask why. Always academia services, most of people understand that is free of charge. So when you are talking about business, when you are talking about market-driven solutions, so it is hard to discuss that, to have conversations with people with the attitude and behavior of free charge of services. So, or not all, but a lot of academia always think and look for grants. So it is difficult to deal when you are talking about business and deal with people with the mindset of grant. So that's what I can say. And the other things, the bureaucracy. If you have a long bureaucracy in the business, it can't work. So you have to be, and you have to be result-oriented. So that's what I can.
Right, thank you very much. Perhaps you can pick it, and then I'll ask you a similar question. You are from the grants point of view, you don't charge people. And there's nothing like free tea. There's always something. In spite of the fact that you do things for free, what has been the challenges? Because talking about bureaucracy, and bureaucracy runs through. How has been your experience? Can you share one or two practical? You cannot, there's no need to mention the university, but some of the challenges you faced.
Thank you very much. So some of the challenges that we've been facing is the scarcity of resources. Resources have been very scarce compared to the need, and the time committed in practice has been low, so that the product we need out of the consumers is low due to the scarcity and the scarcity of resources. Yeah. Another challenge is background. The most of the subjects we offer are technical. So to meet the background, the qualified people to undergo the same training is a big challenge. But as time goes on, people are getting used, and we have just been noticing some improvements on this.
Right, thank you. Before I get to the next stage, I'll be giving you the opportunity to ask your questions and share your experience. We had French interpretation in Benin and Nigeria, a bit low. My French colleagues, is everything okay? Do we think we will need somebody to summarize? Or you're okay? It's okay? It's okay. Good. Because I'll be coming to Tunisia, you have to make sure you are happy so that when I come, you treat me well. Let's look at the other side. There is always something that a donor wants to get. We call it win-win situation. Because my practical experience realized that no company will come and give you something. They always think you can get something. A typical example was what I shared yesterday about a company who, instead of using professors who charge them, they said, why don't you use students to do research, professors supervise, and when they finish, we give them employment. That's the French oil and gas company, and it worked for them. Some will come, oh, I'll build this thing for you, but behind the scene, there is something they need. Airtel, for instance, Vodafone gives every student in my university free chip and an amount of credit every month. Why is it so? Because when they finish school, automatically they will be with you. Some banks will also want to give you something, but at the end of the day, they will tell you, let them come and register with us for our bank. We will not charge them anything, but when they finish school, they remain with us. Can you share your secret? Why do you want to work with academia? We don't have money. We just have students, and the students are even poorer than us. So why do you want to work with academia? Maybe I'll start with you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe it will be easy to talk about this, because this is a private school, for example, university.
Please, you shouldn't disclose any secret if you think it will affect your business.
Okay. So I think if you know that I invest in my academia services, I have to work hard and I have to use my skills and knowledge so that I can get a profit from that I invest in time and money, of course, and it and everything. Working with the academia and looking what we can invest. Firstly, there is a peer-to-peer learning. If someone come here, even if no any investment done, but at least there is a peer-to-peer learning. There is one something I can learn from you and something you can learn from me, even the environment. That is, it can create something in me and try to make me someone if the environment is conducive. And creating kind of income generating project so that students can be involved in, they can bring in services they can work for, and they can get incentive so that they can get some adequate and additional skills and knowledge. Addition to that rhetoric and theoretical knowledge get from the class. So I think that can make, let's say, a package which can make you competitive and try to start working area. And even you can create a job, because when you start the business, as long as you're still a student, you can hire some employers. So you are contributing to the job creation as well as to the country development. So I think that's great to think about it. Yeah.
So as part of their corporate social responsibility, they are investing time, resources and money, because at the end of the day, they will be the beneficiaries. If the youth have a lot of jobs to do, they bring peace in the country, things work out. And just to cite just one example, there's a university in Germany called Bonn Rhein-Sieg, and they work closely with the city to build incubators and a bank. So I asked them, why do you do this? And the mayor said, it is in our own interest. If students get jobs to do after school, they create their own businesses. One, they will pay tax, they will go to the banks. Once the youths are not unemployed, there will be no agitation, the city prospers. So it is in the interest of us as politicians to make sure that we facilitate things. And that is what he's talking about, that it is in their interest, that we shouldn't always be looking deep. I think this company needs something from us, that is why they are coming to invest. At the end of the day, if the country prospers, their business also prospers. I'll ask the last question before I go out and come back again. Yes. On the same issue, what is in for you? Why do you give free money and free grants to set up all this?
In the first place, our organization is a non-profit making organization. So all we need is to see change, to create change in the society, to promote skills. We don't only work with universities, we work with the community to enhance this kind of technology. Our target people is the community and the universities, even the primary schools, the low schools. We don't make profit out of this. The only profit we see, we need to see is community change. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll come to that aspect later, because the literature tells us something different. When you go to UN, you go to the ECOWAS system, they are one of the highly paid. So I always ask them, but you are supposed to take care of us, so how come that your salary is even more than the president's salary? But that would be another question, that NGOs don't profit. But we are doing a good work, and shall we clap for them for the wonderful work they are doing? So those who are not clapping, I'm going to ask you to stand individually and clap. Let's clap for them. Thank you. I will now give the microphone to the audience, at least one from each country. Either you are sharing a quick experience or intervention on whatever they've done. Please, one from each country for a start. Ghana. You can speak in French. I can interpret. There's a hand over there. For Rwanda, as a student, from a student point of view. Wonderful. Please kindly give her one chocolate. This is the first student intervention.
Thank you so much. I'm not a student. I'm a professional intern at Ines. My name is Anita. So this is my first time to meet STEAM Power people. it's my great opportunity. So I'm going to ask you some questions related on what you were discussing about. So you have said a statement, say, how can you make money without investing? We are still young here. There is some students and my fellow internees. Can you convince me about that statement to young people like us? Because we still need skills, we still need a lot of practices. Maybe you need to give us a help getting them. But for us, what can we invest? Because you're focusing on money. So how can you make money without investing? Another thing, as a first time to hear about steam power, I didn't know. Can you tell us a small story for the first students or fellow internees who heard for the first about this steam power? A small story about that organization. Is it an organization? I don't know. He said it's what?
Is the question okay? Do you understand the question?
I'm trying.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Please take it.
Thank you.
He said a short one, so make it snappy for us. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For the question of making money, we are not consistent on making money. All we need is to build something out of you, like our motto there, inside every child is a scientist. That is what profit we need from you. Then when we build you to make money, regarding this, through projects that bring change in the community, whereby we had some of the projects like creating solar energy from the sound, and this has been working, and the project is almost at the end, that will be providing electricity in the community. This is the kind of profit we are making. This is a story that has been made within this university itself. So that profit that contributes to the society is what we go for. And the story is already here, ongoing. The project is in its late stages. It's completing. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, if the answer is not conclusive, during the snack break, you can contact them personally, okay? There is also a website here, www.stempower.org. Let us go and read about them. But you can ask them questions during the break. Chris,
okay.
Are you for Ghana?
Yes.
Okay.
My question is from where he landed. In fact, he says the project is closing. What is the sustainability plan in all this? So that 2 years down the line, if the people who are funding it do not fund it, what can we do as a society? Where if it's Uganda STEM, Rwanda STEM, this STEM, what is your plan?
Thank you very much. It's well understood. Sustainability.
We have got so they are putting all the assistance that we need, and the offer we do runs for 2 years, okay. And the host universities or institutions do keep the projects running after the 2 years.
So you have a success story to tell that even if you leave them,
yes,
they can. So you are teaching them how to fish,
yes,
not to give them fish.
Yes, we're teaching how to fish.
Right. Hope you are satisfied. Benin, your question? Benin? Nigeria. Any experience sharing or question? Tunisia. Gomes, I think your audience need refreshment. Okay, Tunisia.
Good morning. In our school, engineering school in Tunisia, our school holders participate in the scientific council. It is the same in Rwanda or no?
Did you understand it?
I didn't understand.
Otherwise, French. He'll help us. French, yeah. French. Just ask the question in French. Yeah, français.
Donc, en Tunisie, nous, les écoles des ingénieurs, ils participent, les entreprises et tout, ils peuvent participer dans le conseil scientifique pour donner leurs avis et proposer de nouvelles formations ou bien qui peuvent être, bon, c'est pas qu'ils peuvent, mais qui sont réellement adaptés à leurs demandes et que ça peut être accepté.
Okay, so what she's explaining is that in Tunisia, they have a system where the students can participate in the University Scientific Council in order to make sure that whatever is being implemented, the students have a say in that. She's asking whether that's the same thing in Rwanda.
She's asking what?
Whether it's the same in Rwanda.
I think this is a question for the Vice Chancellor's office. If there is any, or Pro-Vice Chancellor, it's more of a university policy. How students, whether students are involved in those policies. Because they said at their place, there's the students in the council who has a say in some of these things.
Dr. Silas Tanzimere, I'm the Director of Research here.
Great.
Prior to that, I was in charge of quality assurance. So I understand the question. That's why I stood up.
Thank you.
It is the situation in Rwanda also. The students' representatives, because each university and higher learning institution is required by the law to have students' representatives, and those students' representatives are supposed to sit in all the higher decision-making organs of the university, like the Senate, the Council of the higher board of directors, and also in Ines Management Committee, if I'm talking about Ines, but in other institutions also they have the same, because it is required by the law.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
Are they free to express themselves and be comfortable among their professors?
That one I cannot say for Rwanda. I cannot say for Rwanda, I can just say for Ines. In those organs, the chairperson has a responsibility to ensure that they are free to speak up, and to encourage them even to speak up. Most of the time when they come just with the information from their colleagues and requests, appeals, any grudges they have over the administration, they will bring it, and it's the responsibility of the chairperson to encourage them to speak up and to bring them up. But I'm saying this just for Ines.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I didn't bring any of my students, but my personal experience working with student leaders is not easy. We wanted them to contribute some of the monies they have so that we'll be able to have an entrepreneurship fund. That we did this. So they have hostels, they have other things, they put their name on it. But if you are talking about long term, that their name will not be part, it's always difficult. But I must say, last year they did something wonderful. The students themselves are funding businesses on campus. And I must appreciate the one handling the Center for Business Development. When I handed over, Dr. Komia is doing very well. They presented seed capital to the students who have businesses. So I think we can learn from that.
But there's something to add.
Pardon me, if you want to react to it, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think even though in the academic institutions, in order to have that kind of tailor-made solution, to bring in tailor-made solutions, should be there. Need assessment system. Not only waiting for the student representative to come in the board, in the meeting, and try to raise up the needs and the problem from their colleagues, but to be there a system that can be always assessing the needs from students and learners, so that to fill the gap and contribute to fill the gap and feed them with their needs, because where you can bring in the tailor-made solutions. So that's the experience that we use in the Spark. Whatever service we provided, we make the need assessment first, so that we can see how we can bring in and provide the tailor-made solutions that can fill the gap within the society, the target group, MSMEs, and other our beneficiaries. And that it's worked. And always when we worked with, as I said, as Rwanda is a growing country, we moved a lot from the, let's say, handout services and to the zero handout services. So with the students from different academic institutions, when we met first, we found that it is like a scratch in terms of business, in terms of competitive realities on the market, because as you know, whatever the talent, whatever that you can put on the market and get money. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be running up. Let me hear from Leipzig if you have any, before we go to the final part, which is the boosting market-driven learning. Leipzig, do you want to say anything? Do you want to share an experience? Kenya, do you want to share an experience? Okay, Kenya. Thank you. Your name, please, and your university.
Thank you so much. My name is Engineer Alice from Mount Kenya University. My question goes to the STEM power representative. How do you balance gender selection? Because power or engineering is dominated by male gender. Secondly, how do you deal with the gender-based violence? For example, you can find a lady, 2 amongst 10, and 1 can be harassed. So how do you deal with the violence or harassment?
Harassment, we have 2 sides. Usually we look at sexual, but there's also harassment at the workplace, where you are a woman, what do you want here? So there are 2 ways. So look at both ways for us.
To begin, STEM power. In fact, one has been here in the room. She has just gone out. We work in accordance with the policy. The 30% we are asked for. We do have more than. In fact, we are beyond. We have more ladies than men in our organization. So dealing with the violence, I have no experience on this because we haven't met such situations. But if it happens, there are organs that can handle the case if there is. But I have no experience on this.
Right, that is good to hear. I had a message yesterday of some ladies crying that the men are being neglected. We are talking about female empowerment. And now we're over-empowering our women. And the men are sitting down, and they can only be violent in the house because the women are becoming big people. They take all the good salaries. So, Madam Engineer, Don't worry, your women are safe. There is a hand here. Your name and your university.
Thank you very much. My name is Iradukunda Lenias. I'm a student from Industrial IT, Ines Ruhengeri. My question is, how do you cooperate, or how do you integrate with the society, because we're still having an employer student, because after ending the school, most of the younger people, they are employers. So how do you interact with you say you work with all the community, so but we are still having the problem of the unemployed younger people. So how do you interact, and how do you encourage them to, because you say you can get money without investing anything. So then how do you interact with them? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Regarding that, we don't create jobs. We train entrepreneurs. So after completing your projects, we can fund. We fund your projects, and then you go ahead with the projects. We give you money, and you proceed with the project.
Are you answered? Please, after the session, you can meet him one-on-one. Is that okay? Germany? Any intervention? Okay, thank you very much. Can we please give the microphone to Germany?
Yes, Sandy Adam, my name, from Leipzig University. Thank you for the discussion. I have one short question. We discussed in our World Cafe recently workshop the connection between university and businesses, and also the role in curriculum development. So I was wondering how much of an impact can you have with the offers that you give to students, or to students that are about to enter the university, in actually getting this into the curriculum. Yeah, so that align what you do, what you offer, with the curriculum of, let's say, Ines or other universities. And are you experiencing any challenges? Because from Germany, I would say that bringing fresh ideas into the curriculum, fresh ideas from the industry into a university curriculum, is a very long-lasting process. So that it seems universities always behind the needs of industry. So what is your role? How can you influence university in bringing your needs of the labor market into this curriculum?
Thank you. Thank you very much. We work in line with the curriculum of the university. We work in line with the national curriculum. So what we do, we build laboratories, a computer laboratory consisting of computers, and provide basic skills. We provide electronics laboratories. So we provide equipments, and then the curriculum is prepared by the university according to the national curriculum. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Let me start rounding up. How many minutes do I have? There is a table at the back. Every student sitting there has their head down and using their phones. Are you here for us, or you are here for your phones? Please, what we are doing here, some of us have our professions already. We are doing it to help you. So please listen, my dear students. Let's be attentive. By way of policy, maybe I can ask the vice chancellors and the superiors over here. In my university, there is a policy that before any curriculum is approved, there should be industry input. Quality assurance, am I right? There should be industry input. Without that, your thing will not be approved. And this year we had summer school industry academia relationship, and they came over to stress so that if we are not going to them, and the university council too, there are at least a minimum of 2 industry people on the university's council. And we are acting at the college level, departmental level. We should have these people, including alumni, on it. During our summer school, something happened. they came laughing at us that even in the business school, some of the softwares in the system, that is not what they are using to teach accounting and the other things. That we claim to be #1 university in Africa or quality education, but some of the software we are using, it is up to, but here we are, we come, I am blah, 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 but we are different. So when we send our students, they take, the bank says they take a minimum of 6 months, minimum of 6 months retraining our graduates and trying to change their mind. There is even a new concept coming up. One NGO, the man has started a foundation, Kofi Amwabe, a former banker. All those in his foundation, they have to go for military training for 6 months to change their mindset of the young people. By the time before you get a scholarship, they will change your mindset. It is coming up. When we were growing up, we used to do compulsory military training before national service. So my dear young people, you have to prepare. The world is changing and changing fast. The topic we are discussing, ladies and gentlemen, is about practical ways or the practical role of external stakeholders in boosting market-driven learning. You've talked about different things. What are we not doing right as academia? Please, don't look at our faces and tell us good things. Please be frank with us. If there are certain things we are not doing right, that because of that we are not getting you the right students, please let us know. If you err, father is at the back, we have father here, you go for confession. So don't worry, just tell us practically what we are not doing right. Not only Rwanda universities.
Yeah, the general.
Please, General.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. I think the thoughts and the contribution we'd like to share is in the general sense, because whatever the case, as humankind all over the world need some kind of market-driven solution. The first one, let's start by capacity building. I know in the academia there's well-equipped professors and lecturers. That's good and enough. But in terms of skills and practices, I know that some institutions, or it needs some kind of cost. And because of cost constraints, maybe not have enough tools and adequate hubs to get adequate solutions. But that is what one thing that I can highlight is on side of practical skills and knowledge. You have to think about it and equip student that kind of rhetoric, but also they need some kind of practices so that they can turn rhetoric into actions. Other thing is kind of support student or other learners on investment, because without accessing investment you can't think about market, and to have enough knowledge, it doesn't make you competitive and well stand for the market. So you have to think also the investment. Maybe the investment, many people can think you can get money, someone can give you money, but I think the most thing to get investment is to give someone skills on making money. Just if you facilitate to support someone to make money, it's enough investment. So the third thing, almost the synergy. You will see the academic institutions, they are very admired on the worldwide, but remember, now the world becomes the village. How you can work alone. So that kind of synergy between institutions. I know Ines is trying to implement that kind of little information I have, but also you have to bring in investors, private actors. Why not international or national organizations with the different inputs so that they can boost and have great and to those kind of to overcome that kind of financial challenges. Other things that ensuring quality and innovation. Having enough skills and knowledge, but without shaping that kind of knowledge and skills, and you have to bring in innovations so that you can be competitive in the market. That's why I think that kind of business and the other incubation are so grateful. I was discussing with them how they support on the IT incubation within the academic institutions and the community, but maybe they have to add other component of making money. Okay. This will be working.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your attention.
Let's give you an applause while we give the mic to STEM Power to also add to what is given to us.
Regarding to your question, provided you are given all the facilities, but most of the problem I can see, I guess, is the academic screening capacity of the ones joining low academic qualifications, grading that is. Those are some of the factors I've seen that affect the performing of the quality education we need.
Right, thank you. Can we also give it an applause? Running up, we've learned quite a lot, but we cannot learn all. By way of take-homes, they talk about adequate equipment, which universities can always never have adequate equipment. In September 2002, we had a tour of some German universities, including Leipzig. We even went to the German parliament. And guess what my student told me? Sir, we thought it's only in Africa that we have problems. That even the parliamentarians had their problem in German Bundestag. All the universities we went to, they were talking about not having one thing or the other. The way students behave is the same everywhere. So please, the take home is that yes, universities need to equip and all that, but we have to improvise at times, and we have to set our priorities right. We are talking about universities investing in certain businesses. We've been drumming this home for years. Some universities are doing better, but at times they ask themselves, are we business people or are we university? Drawing the balance, now we are trying to produce water. We have a university of almost 90,000 students, and we buy water from somewhere. So now they say, well, some Nigerian universities, I'm told they have soft drinks and the rest. Certain things they feed, they have some things they do on campus. So let us all learn how to build. There's a capacity building. It's also one of the keys they raised. That if you are in a university, and especially if you are a lecturer and you don't have the practical knowledge over certain things, please, why don't you go out there, go to an industry and learn? Because if I bring in external resource persons, my students love it. They say you talk too much, everything theory, theory, theory. But when industry people come in, they share practical experience. So can we also get them in? Some cannot even speak the English language, but they have businesses. Can we lower the language for them? Make things available. Can we take video shots to come and show students? So these are things they are talking about. Quality, innovation, and skills is one of the things they raised. They are also talking about investment. It shouldn't always be private sector. Our business incubator, we had $500,000
from Ministry of Communication, e-Ghana project. So government, some government agencies have monies they can spend. We also have national. There are some companies they want to come. There are certain ministries. So national, international, and local, like Muzanzi. Have we reached out to some of the companies? What can they do for us? So let's look at all these areas. So capacity building, staff instructions, but I know industry have always been ready. I wanted to give the floor to one of our experienced former vice chancellors here, but time is not on our side. Maybe at another time, Prof can share his experience. Because we've been giving it to the academia, but we've not heard their voice. Maybe there's something they are also suffering from that we are not aware of. On that note, I want to call in Gons, if he is here. Once the food is back there, people are no longer going to listen to me. I have a wonderful guest at the back. I am unworthy to introduce him. He is my father in Rwanda. The first boss and father I met when I came to Rwanda over 12 years ago. I won't mention his name. Gons will be the best person. He's been part of Access, In4In, Agia. He's been with us, and Gons will come and introduce him. Shall we give ourselves a round of applause for being wonderful guests and participants? On that note, I want to say thank you. Enjoy the chocolate with your wives. You have only one wife. Of course. In your country, you are not allowed to marry two. Okay, and no side one. That's just by the way. Please, officially, you can use your phones and your laptop. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear invited guests, all protocol observed, we are coming to the end of the 4 days of the summer school 2024, the Summer School of Access project. Access, which stands for African Center for Career Enhancement and Skills Support, a project run by the University of Leipzig through CEPT program, together with 6 African partner universities from Tunisia, Kenya, Benin, Ghana, Nigeria, and Rwanda. We are very pleased that everything that we planned to happen happened as we wished, even though there might have been some very few issues. But at least up to now we can give ourselves 99% according to the comments I hear from the participants. Any other thing that will happen after we close, that is not part of access. But we will assume the responsibility, even though. We are pleased to be with the governor of the Northern Province, and I would like to invite him to stand up for recognition. We are with the members of the General Assembly, the founding organ of Ines Ruhengeri. We have Father Cassia. He was with us in the morning. We have Lordship Kizito was and Father Dr. Fabian Hagenimana, the former Vice Chancellor of this university. Dear Governor, dear members of the General Assembly of Ines, close to you we have Professor Dr. Robert Kappel from the University of Leipzig. The founding father of CEPT, which partners with Ines Ruhengeri, and for which efforts, or for whose efforts have made that we are here today celebrating 10 years of partnership, 10 years of collaboration in terms of entrepreneurship and employability skills in Rwanda and in Africa. So, Professor Kappel, we are very cognizant to what you have started and to what you are still doing with us. Dear Governor, we have delegates from different countries. As I mentioned them earlier, there are 28 gathered here within this room. We have representatives of industries here in Rwanda, but most importantly operating within Musanze, because others were with them in Kigali when we started this gathering. We are with representatives of higher learning institutions, ISECA, IPRC Musanze, and IPRC Ngoma. Representatives of such institutions sitting somewhere there. We have some of the trainees or the alumni of the programs that Ines had in partnership with Leipzig, including AGEA, African German Entrepreneurship Academy, and Access, as well as alumni of Ines Innovation and Incubation Center. They are also here with us. We are with partner organizations. Since we started, we have had good luck. I don't know whether it is good luck or if it is hard work to find and to partner with some organizations such as STEM Power Organization. Please stand up for recognition. This is an organization in the STEM, in science and technologies, sponsored or funded by the Israel government, and they help us to promote sciences here within Ines and within the schools that surround Ines. We have also Spark. Where is the representative? Yes, Spark.org. This Spark is a Dutch organization, non-governmental organization, which helped us to start the Ines Innovation Center. For the first 2 years, without their funds, I think we would be still struggling to find, strong foundation. I think I have introduced almost everybody. We also have students who recently concluded their trainings in STEM, especially in terms of computer literacy and digital literacy. They are going to be awarded their certificates today. We were supposed to have others for the Hangakazi, which is a US-sponsored organization, but their representative was not here, but the students will get their certificates very soon. So we had at least, we had planned to award at least 2 cohorts, one in skills readiness, or work readiness skills, sorry, and the other one in STEM, especially the digital literacy. They are all from Ines here. And in the final years, we make sure that we train students who are about to go to the market, and then we equip them with some soft skills and hard skills that can help them to immediately become productive once they are in their position in the outside companies. I have the opportunity to say that historically speaking, this is a journey that started in 2013, negotiations as usual, initiated by Leipzig University with Professor Urs Domberger, the director of the center, the competence center, CEPT Competence Center. He wished to be with us today, but he could not make it. And I am conveying the recognitions of Ines and the Ines Innovation and Incubation Center to him, and I would like to request the German delegation to tell him that we are very recognizant for his efforts and his commitment, and sustainable commitment. This is very key, sustainable commitment. Thank you very much. So we started in 2013 with the 5 universities from different African countries, 5 of them, looking at how we can establish entrepreneurship centers in Africa at universities. Because by that time, entrepreneurship was still a fresh topic, and the Germans were very eager to help us initiate such initiatives at our own universities. We were in a group of countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, Ghana, and there is another one that I forgot, but we were 5. Then we started meeting in every country, We discussed about what kind of entrepreneurship supporting centers can we establish at our own universities. We discussed about which major focus given the responsibilities and the specificities of every university. Then we find out we cannot create something common to all universities because we are different. We agreed that we convey the wish to the universities, to the management of the universities, and we hear from them, and if they find the idea good enough to be implemented, they will support the idea. On our side, we were lucky because probably the then Vice Chancellor had attended many meetings in which they talk about entrepreneurship. And it was one of the major pillars that the government was pushing for the universities to have in order to create students who are self-employed or who can become self-employed instead of producing students that will look for jobs after they finish. Then Father Fadia, accompanied us in the process of finding the funding. That's when we came across SPAC, and they were very receiving, and they funded our initial organization, that is Ines Innovation. Then it was Ines Business Incubation Center. Later on, it turned into Ines Innovation and Incubation Center, but still, innovation and business, it's the same, more or less. So we continued initiating and engaging different stakeholders for further partnerships. Funding. And we know that the Germans, the Israelis, the Rwandan government, all of us can put our efforts together and keep this good initiative going and prosper. Therefore, without taking much of your time, this was just an introduction of how far we have come and how far we have gone up to today. And thereafter, I would like to invite the representative of Leipzig University, Professor Kappel, to come and deliver his remarks, which are about the contribution of CEPT in the development of university networks in Africa. Let's put our hands together for welcoming Professor Kappel.
Honorable Governor, honorable members of Ines General Assembly, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Gonsalves, dear colleagues from 6 African countries, Rwanda, Tunisia, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and Benin, dear students. I'm representing the CEPT Competence Center in Leipzig, Germany. Unfortunately, the director, Professor Utz Dornberger, is not able to participate because of a surgery. My best wishes go to him. He was in fact my student in 1998, and since 2004, he is the director of the CEP program. So, can I have the, do you continue? There is nothing, okay. In fact, Professor Dornberger is the Mr. CEPT. and I'm the father of this program. It's good to know that someone takes over. Next slide, please. The history of the CEPT is exceptional, and this is our mission. Support the development of small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. And we are convinced that the future of our economies relies on innovative SMEs. This has to do with globalization and the pressure of the global market. There's always competition from the outside. So development of SMEs means development from inside, endogenous development. And that's very important to overcome all the problems of youth unemployment and overcoming also the constraints for the development of SMEs. So this concept of the CEPT Competence Center is a huge, creating a new huge network all over the world. And you can see this here, that Leipzig has done a lot on this. We have many activities. We have more than 100 university partnerships worldwide. We cooperate with 80 companies. We have project partners in 37 countries, including Access and many others worldwide. We have funding. We had funding of 3 million euro in the year 2022, and we created something that was the starting point of everything. We created the MBA studies program, Small Enterprise Promotion and Training in Leipzig University. This deals with SMEs and entrepreneurship. This is an MBA program, and we bring together students from all over the world. I don't know how many countries we had so far, but I think about more than 150. Mainly every country has sent students to our program, and we had more than 1,000 students in the program. This is a program that is action learning oriented. We are cooperating with companies. We are also dealing with research for students, so that students write master thesis with a certain focus on SME, innovation and development of entrepreneurship. We have also a program in Vietnam, where we also train students from Vietnam and surrounding countries. And the first intake, that's also interesting to know, we had 13 students from Nigeria. And that was also the start for cooperation with African countries. And when we see the Access program today, we found that the cooperation with African countries is most interesting for us, because the development of small and medium-sized enterprises is the basis of development in a country, plus development of farming, of course. So this we have this long-lasting cooperation worldwide with enterprises, researchers, and practitioners, and dealing also with the environment for SMEs and adapting always new concept. And Access is an outstanding model for this development. The funding of this program is coming from different sources: DAAD, German Academic Exchange Service, churches, political foundations, and NGOs, but also funding is coming from governments of the respective home country of a student. So there's a lot of funding getting access to this competence center. The CEP program is not only positioned internationally, that's very important, of course, that was also the starting point of everything, but, stop here, we have also a very incorporating activities inside Germany, inside our region, inside our area where Leipzig is located. That's the federal state of Saxony. And this is important because we not only export some ideas to African countries, Latin American countries, Asian countries or so, but we benefit from our work inside Germany. And this, you all know about the success model of Germany, which was based in the development of small and medium-sized enterprises, which have been growing very much during the last 5 decades, focused mainly on manufacturing. And that, they created a lot of jobs for people inside Germany. So workers get good jobs, engineers get good jobs. And the model is based on 2 aspects. First of all, vocational training. Workers are trained for working in a company, in every profession, many professions. There is a vocational training program for the young generation, which are not coming from university, but that's the basis for everything on the German side. The German medium-sized enterprise called Mittelstand is the basis for the economic success of German economy. Also exporting, 4th important exporter worldwide until today. The second is cooperation with universities of big and medium-sized enterprise with universities, and also something which is very special in Germany, cooperation with universities of applied science. These universities of applied science are much closer to the enterprise sector, and they benefit from each other. One is doing research, the university is doing research, engineering or so, and cooperating with the enterprise, which taking research for development of the enterprise. And a third one is cooperating with technical universities, which are in natural science, computers, mathematics, national physics, and so on and so forth. So that was the basis of this concept, and it has given Germany so much wealth and a real takeoff of the German society. So innovation combined with vocational training, which is also always changing, is together. So when I looked again into my slides, I remembered how these days we had in Ruhengeri and in Kigali. That was a very interesting work, exchange of ideas, wonderful trips and good food. Thank you so much. But what is very important also, what we can do for others, is the cooperation between university researchers, teachers, and innovative, active researchers in the university, which we can call university entrepreneurs, who expand their knowledge to the society, to the enterprises. I would like to quote some of the ideas I have heard here, and that shows how this cooperation of access and with the University of Leipzig and the SEP Competence Center shows how important it is. And it's local market, so there is a lot to do, and I have taken this from our debates. And the survey of my colleague who presented the results of his study show clearly what has to be done. First, it is all about jobs, creating jobs for young generation. I think we agree on this. But I would like to add, we need to creating jobs for the young generation which can solve the huge challenges of the future. That's climate crisis, health crisis, and unemployment. And unemployment is one of the biggest challenges we face until today. The fifth is, I learned about a lot the presentations for a new access agenda. Presentations dealt with looking forward concepts, knowledge, skills, competence, empowerment, employability, career enhancement, and virtual internship, and using augmented reality for teaching. These are the topics of the future, and we have discussed this here, and this made me very happy, somehow proud that the audience of the researchers of 6 African countries, together with the German side, developed something which is dealing with the challenges of the future, and this makes me happy to see this. What I would love to see, my conclusion, let us strive for new ideas for tackling major challenges. Let us use social media for dissemination our mission. Let us strengthen the personal ties which can better function when we are together, discuss joint activities, but the personal ties of researchers also with enterprises is very important to change the mindset and change the whole situation to be better. So we need an exchange of ideas, and it's not one-sided. You do this. CEPT is not just giving, but CEPT is also taking. Win-win situation, and that should be beneficial for both. In my view, it is the option for overcoming North-South divide. Everybody is talking now about the global South and it's challenging the West. Okay, that's politicized thinking, but our concept, access, and all the activities we do together are reducing the inequality, reducing the stress, reducing this division in between North and South, and this makes the SEP program, the access programs, and all the other programs we have a very good concept. At the end, I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you who were supporting us. The establishment of the Ines some 10 years ago, the establishment of activities between African countries and the SEP program. I would like to thank you very much, and in the name also of the SEP Leipzig team, which is also here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Kappel. As I mentioned earlier, we started this cooperation with Leipzig when Father Dr. Fabiano Genemana was the Vice Chancellor of Ines. And I would like to invite him to address this congregation on behalf of the Ines General Assembly. Thank you.
Honorable Governor of the Northern Province, dear Vice Chancellor Ines Ruhengeri, dear Professor Dr. Robert Kappel, founder of CEPT from the University of Leipzig, dear leaders from partner universities across Africa and also from Leipzig, dear members of Ines General Assembly, dear Access Coordinator and delegates, dear partners of Ines in skills development, dear staff, dear students, dear leaders of industries, dear alumni of Ines, Agea and Access, it's my pleasure and honor to stand here on behalf of the General Assembly. The Bishop Vincent Harolimana was supposed to be here because he's the legal representative. He's our head leader, but he could not make it, and I'm honored to be here to represent him and all the founders of Ines Ruhengeri. It's been a week since the Access Summer School 2024 started here in Rwanda, and it's a pleasure that the week has been fruitful, both in terms of academia and cultural exchange. We at Ines Ruhengeri have the privilege of having a partner like the University of Leipzig, which from 2014 has been a good companion in the development of human resources of local partner universities. Our academic staff benefited trainings which enhanced their understanding of business landscapes at national and international levels. Students from partner universities took part in local competitions which developed their entrepreneurial spirits as well as competitiveness in a collaborative manner. Those who participated in international events had the opportunity to see abroad, interact with the host, learn from international experts. They initiated collaborations, networks, and partnerships which made them who they are today as employees or self-employed. And this wide network is really to be appreciated, not only for these beneficiaries, but also for the universities and the industry. When we think of partnerships, we think of mutual understanding, mutual agreement, mutual development. As Professor has just mentioned, we don't think about receiving without giving, because as Elder Kamara said it, no one is so rich that he doesn't need anything, and no one is so poor that he cannot offer anything. So we need each other, and that's how it works in a win-win mindset. As an Institute of Applied Sciences following the model of Fachhochschule in Germany, we understand that education has no boundaries, that skills transcend geographical boundaries. This implies that skills development requires effective and strong collaboration between various actors, and the stronger the collaboration, the higher the level of sustainability. On behalf of the founders of Ines Ruhengeri, 20 years ago in some months, we see our partnership with the University of Leipzig has enjoyed sustainability over the last 10 years. Thanks to the German funding through DAD, we see also that the Ines Incubation Center has created collaborations with our sister local higher learning institutions in order to create impactful learning approaches. As we stand here today, alumni from IPRC Ngoma, from IPRC Musanze, from UNILAC, from Ines Ruhengeri, of course, from ISECA and others, are good testimony of what can be achieved when efforts are brought together. And on this point, the testimony is not just wordings, but because life has taken place. I was discussing with my colleagues that the staff of universities should understand that the students who come to us seek a brighter future. They don't just come to us to pay us, they come to us to invest, and they need to harvest at a certain point, and we should feel the responsibility on our shoulders. And we should be happy when, after graduating, we see our students performing outside there. Our partnerships have reached out to other organizations intervening in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, known as STEM, employability skills, work readiness skills, and this enhances the capacity of our graduates. It makes us happy because we get to link with various industries, and these help us to streamline our curricula and how we address market needs in a dynamic way. I cannot end this speech without thanking SPARC. It has been mentioned. SPARC opened the doors, because with SPARC we introduced the Ines BIC, or BIC, Innovation and Incubation Center. SPARC, your contribution is of immense recognition. You laid the foundation of our celebration today. You deserve a grace of applause. And to other projects that joined us later, mostly from STEPT, AGEA, Access, Barroso, STEM Power Model, Hangakazi, and others, we thank you very much and wish for continuous collaboration for a better future for our youth and graduates. We are very happy that we are celebrating 10 years together, and this is just the beginning. More years should be taken together, and I invite all the universities that it's time to strengthen the South-South collaboration, and no leader should go back home without a point to be developed in a South-South manner for further partnership. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for one of the founders of Ines Ruhengeri. We are coming to the section of vote of thanks, and I would like to invite Professor Ekanola from Nigeria to take the stage.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Allow me to, first of all, acknowledge the presence of the governor of the northern province of Rwanda. We are somewhat delighted to have you here. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. My task is easy, is to give a vote of thanks. And to make life easy for us, we developed a strategy in Nigeria, especially if you're not very clear about protocols and are not sure of who to recognize and who not to recognize. You simply say that, permit me to lean on or stand on or adopt the already well-established protocol. So I am taking that avenue this afternoon to say that, well, allow me to adopt the protocols already well-established, especially by the last speaker. But nonetheless, it's important that we thank some organizations and some individuals, some groups specifically. And I want to start by saying a very big thank you to the founder of CEPT, and of course the director of CEPT right now, who unfortunately isn't here with us, Professor Utz Domberger. We appreciate the coordination and the leadership he has been providing, and of course he hasn't been doing this alone. I also want to say a very big thank you to the entire CEPT team for all that have been done since 2020 to ensure that access and other programs like AGIA under the auspices of CEPT have been running very smoothly. Thank you very much. I also want to say a very big thank you to Ines for hosting this summer school. By all standards, it has been very successful, and I'm sure that all participants, ever since arrival on Sunday, I think a few of us arrived maybe on Friday or Saturday, we've all been very comfortable, and the program has been going on as scheduled. So thank you to Ines. Have been wonderful, and I think Access Team Rwanda deserves a round of applause. Let's lift it up for them. Thank you, and thank you very much. A number of partners of Access in Rwanda have been recognized, and some of them have participated in various sessions of the summer school since Monday. I can't begin to mention names of organizations and individuals one after the other, but I want to say that you are all very much appreciated, and we thank you all very much for the various ways you have been supporting, you have been collaborating with Access in Rwanda, and we trust that it will get better, and the impact of what we are doing now will resonate for generations to come. So thank you all very much, all organizations that have been collaborating and partnering with Access since we started in 2020, and also those who have played thank you so very much. And of course, we have representatives from various Access countries, from Benin, from Ghana, from Kenya, from Nigeria, and Tunisia, and of course Leipzig. If Access Rwanda have put everything in place and we are not here, this event wouldn't have been successful at all. So I can also imagine that many of us are very, very busy people. We are here because of commitment we have to the project. So for coming and for participating fully for all we've done to ensure the success of this event, on behalf of the entire Access team, I say thank you so very much. And of course, I want to single out the participants in the idea competition that have been working on their proposals and projects for some time. They've had a couple of presentations here today. Of course, we had something that seemed like a competition yesterday, and that gave some special flavor to the event. Well, thank you all for your contributions, and we expect that as you go back to your various countries, you will continue to work on the ideas, the projects, and ensure that they are fully implemented. And I believe I can speak boldly on behalf of Access that at any point in time, if you need some technical support and advice, we'll be very much happy to provide. All you need to do is to liaise with the Access coordinators in our various countries, and we will do all that we can to ensure that your ideas see the light of the day, and that they are fully realized in ways that will be impactful on our students and enhance their employability on graduation, and of course hone their soft skills and entrepreneurship skills also. On a final note, I know that we have quite a number of previous beneficiaries of the IGEA project here, and also students who have come to benefit from the exercise. Students of Ines who are here, could you just wave your hands to me? Students, could you just wave your hand, please? Ines students, yes, Ines students, yeah. Well, you are all specially recognized, and we thank you for your participation in this summer school. Thank you all very much, and maybe it's also a good opportunity to say that we wish ourselves safe return journeys, whenever that will be, back to our various countries. And we appreciate the network that we're building, and we trust that this project will endure, will be sustained, and we will all be gladdened by the results that we will see globally as we proceed. So thank you all very much. I think we all deserve to give ourselves a round of applause. Let's lift it up now. Thank you.
Thanks to Professor. Let's invite Dr. Njeri for her vote of thanks. She's from Kenya. Karibu sana.
Right? Yeah. Good afternoon. And I think I'll teach you a bit of Swahili. Habari yenyu. When I say habari yenyu, that means I'm greeting you, habari yenyu. You respond mzuri sana. Yes. Yeah. Most of you guys will actually say jambo. We know jambo is taught for the ones who actually come, but most of the time we actually say habari yenyu. I would have gone to the Sheng language, but let me just stick to the official Swahili language. Hakuna mat. You see? We can actually tell people who have actually visited Kenya. Yeah. First of all, forgive my voice. I came to Rwanda, Rwanda picked my voice. I'm hoping I'm going to get my voice back before I go back to Kenya. Yeah. So all protocols observed. Thank you very much, the governor, for graciously being with us here. The VC, for Ines. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to actually just go back from the time actually landed in Rwanda. That is on 4th of February. We were graciously received by the group from Classic Hotel. So we're really, really grateful. So they took our bags and were able to take us to the hotel. And then definitely that evening we were able to just have a good time with everyone else from the different countries. We got to actually now put faces to the names. Gonzalez, I've actually attended a training, so it was really nice having to see him in person. Also Bismarck, he's also been part of it. I'm really glad to actually have met them in person. So thank you very much also for hosting us really well, and also Dr. Mireille, I can't forget you. She literally really took care of me by asking for spiced tea from the very first time. Then the second day, we started the workshop, went all the way to Parkin, Radisson. So all the presentations are actually done there from the director of, I can't remember her name, but the director, fire education. I can't remember her name, and I was actually just having a small banter with her and telling her she should actually be speaking more because she had a lot of knowledge. And also, I think also the STEM power was still there. And also I've actually just challenged a lady, we're sitting with her, that we no longer just call it STEM, but we also call it STEAM, to make sure that we also incorporate the people in arts, because this world, we are not only people in STEM alone, but we also need to integrate people also in arts to be able to just come with sustainable solutions. So also the trip, most of us do not know much about what happened way back 29 years ago, so we were taken back to the trip in the memorial in Kigali, and we were gracious enough to actually just read exactly, not just depending on rumors. We were able to read exactly what actually happened, and what you can actually say in Swahili, we say pole sana. And what I'm really glad about is that you were able to learn from the lessons. The tragedy, the real tragedy of life is when you do not learn, but you're able to learn from that and see where you are. 29 years later, you're 30 years in April, and what I've actually just seen is that the beautiful Kigali town, the beautiful Kigali itself, the beautiful Rwanda itself, and also just seeing you guys have running tracks in the city. We need to actually just have lessons from you guys. Then also we traveled all the way to Ines, to Musanze. At least now I can actually say it the way you guys are saying it. Traveled all the way to Musanze. We were received, and also, by the way, one of the things that people forget to say thank you to the drivers. They were gracious enough, first of all, to even stop us, to actually have a stopover somewhere. We were able to take roasted maize, roasted maize and it was chilled. I had it on, mine was chilled, and I was really glad that actually that happened. And when we landed here, we were able to visit Ines Ruhengeri, a beautiful space to be. Good work you're doing, Bonavisi and everyone else. And not only that, yesterday I was a bit down. There's one guy I need to also thank, and apparently he's not in the room, Fabrice. He was gracious enough to, and also the team with Mireille, Dr. Mireille, and everyone else. Some of us, I don't know what happened to some of us, our voices disappeared, and they were gracious enough to even take some of us to hospital and even make sure that we actually get the right medicine, the right medicines. So other than that, yesterday we were able to visit Lake Kivu, a beautiful place. You guys have beautiful places, and you're able to actually be able to be hosted in a hotel just along in Kenya. I would actually say just along the shores. I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to say the same thing. It's a lake, and a beautiful time we had there, and also came back. And now today we get to actually be in a space where we are able to just have to see even the students themselves, and I'm really looking forward to the culture week. And trust me, I'll be able to dance And I'm hoping that you guys are going to train me how to dance. I just know you just do that. Do like this. You do like hands like this. So I need to perfect that. So that when I go back to Kenya, we don't dance the wrong way. So other than that, I'm really grateful for the time that we actually spent over here. And we're really looking forward to not only just having to meet you guys here, but also to invite you guys also to Kenya. The next time I think it's Rwanda, it's Tunisia you guys are going. And also we're really grateful to the Access team to actually just having this, or rather enabling this. And also not only that, but also the lessons that we've actually learned over time. So entrepreneurial hubs, I usually say as Africans, we should be able to just contextualize our needs and also be able to contextualize our solutions. So when you talk about students being involved in it, let's involve our students to make sure that whatever we're actually coming up with is sustainable and is something that can actually be taken in as, it can actually be owned by the students, but not only the students, but also the stakeholders in this particular space. So asanteni sana, which means thank you very much, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Njeri.
All the protocols observed, I want to pick from where she has left. We have done a good job as a team, and it is good to appreciate. I want to teach you the Kenyan way, 5 factorials of doing the appreciation. So we are going 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Are you with me? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Thank you. You are good students.
We are still thanking each and everyone who participated in the development of what we have today, but we are not giving awards of recognition to everybody. At least we are going to try to give some who will be representing others. And I would like to invite Dr. Mirei and Dr. Theodore to lead this activity. Thank you.
Thank you, Moderator, Honorable Governor, the members of Ines General Assembly here present, the VC Ines, Professor Capel, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. After these words of thanks, I think it is time to thank everyone. At the end of this week, you know, some people have been learning some Kinyarwanda words. There is Umunyamaguru here, I see him. Yes, Umunyamaguru. So we are going to recognize and give awards to some people, as my predecessor has mentioned, who are representing all of us. We are going to start by SEPT from Leipzig University, the creator of this and the initiator of this access. I will call upon Honorable Governor, may you help us to award the representative of SEPT from Leipzig University. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Governor. Thank you. Professor Kapel, as you are still here, as yes, let us, as Professor Kapel and the Leipzig team are enjoying, can you please clap again for them? I will call again Professor Kapel. May you come again. Come again. You'll be coming 3 times actually. So this is the second time. Okay. Let us recognize our host, Ines Ruhengeri. I would like to call the VC, Ines Ruhengeri, to come and receive the award. Yes, Professor, can you step? The protocol may help us as the VC and the Professor Kapel will stay there. We say in Kinyarwanda, akebo kajiwa mugarura. Protocol team, please. Dr. Gonzalez, you can help the VC. VC, please remain. Yes, you have to remain. So it is the 3rd time for Kapel. You know, Professor Kapel is the initiator and the founder of this Access project. So he is recognized for this great initiative. Thank you very much, Professor Kapel. Yes, I would like to call the, as you are still there, the team from Leipzig, please, can you stand for a picture? Right, Honorable Governor, if you may join the Leipzig team. These moments are memorable, they are unique, and when there is no picture, no event happened. It is not from Kinyarwanda, it is from Einstein. It is from Einstein. Any event which has not been observed has not happened. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. As we have said, we should thank everyone in this Access project, the cooperation, the partnership, and the sharing of experience between universities and the private sector, the civil society, and any other organization is at the core of this initiative. I would like to call upon His Lordship Kizito to come and give an award to Spark organization. Your Lordship. This is one of the fruits of Ines, the initiative from memorable members, among them His Lordship Kizito, who initiated this project of Ines. So these are one of the fruits of Ines. Thank you very much. I would like to call Professor Adebola. Professor Adebola, sir. As he's coming, can you please clap for him? He's the one who started the word of thanks. Professor Adebola is going to give the award to the representative of STEM Power, one of our key partners in this project. Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Adebola. Ines has its sister, the NCT Catholic do Kabwai Iseka. I would like to call upon Father Dr. Fabien, one of the founders of Ines and the former Vice Chancellor of Ines, to give the award to the representative of Iseka Kabgai. Is it coming? Yes, Iseka Institut Catholique de Kabwai is one of the sister universities of Ines, and our partners in a number of projects. Thank you very much, Father. Professor Hamad, the member, one of the board members of Access, is going to award the IPRC Ngoma, the Integrated Polytechnic Regional Center Ngoma. The representative of, please, Prophet, can you, the representative of IPRC Ngoma. IPRC Ngoma, one of the 8 colleges of Rwanda Polytechnic Higher Learning Institution, one of the leading institutions in technical and vocational education and training, TVET. When we collaborate with RP, we are in our agenda to become more an applied university. I'd like to call upon Father Cassian, one of the founders again of Ines, to award IPRC Musanze, the representative of IPRC Musanze. I think everyone in this assembly knows how to pronounce the word Musanze. Okay? Musanze. Can you please come in the middle? Father? Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone. To anyone here with the present, let us try the lesson from Kenya. Thanking everyone here present. Okay? So can we go? We are going to make an assessment. Professor, we are going to assess if the lesson has been well captured. Okay? So let us thank. We are thanking everyone. The representative from Hangakazi, the representative of Hangakazi, they are not around, so we are going to thank them together with the entire congregation. Okay? So we are going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
As we are continuing to award or to recognize people who participated in this event, we have chosen to award or to recognize representatives. And we have only 2 certificates for the summer school participants, the invitees in the summer school participants. Instead of giving everyone a certificate, we are going to give only 2 as a, how do I call it? Yes, to save time. And we are also going to give 2 certificates to the students who will be standing on behalf or representing the others, just for the sake of time saving. And then after, we invite the guest of honor, the governor of the Northern Province, for his remarks. And we will end with an official closing of the whole summer school by the Vice Chancellor of Ines Ruhengeri. So, dear Vice Chancellor, please come forward so that we can award our students and STEM Power representative. Students, we have Mtawazi Pacifique and Tumukunde Martha. Are you there? Yeah. Mtawazi Pacifique. Jamaa hagati yao. Tumukunde Martha. Okay. Then, on behalf of the Access Group, I would like to invite the governor to come and recognize the presence of these 2 persons. Professor Huinsu Dedehonu. Professor? Yes. This is just on behalf of the Access team. And Dr. Marwa Sharif. Dr. Marwa Sharif, yes. And on this note, dear Vice Chancellor, the following moment is for the governor of the Northern Province. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Vice Chancellor, of Ines Ruhengeri, founders of Ines Ruhengeri, Professor Robert, distinguished guests, students, all participants. Mine will be very brief. I wanted to be with you at the beginning of this summer school, but I had other meetings in Kigali, so I couldn't be with you the entire week. But I was following every day, and I know you have done a lot, and that you have visited different places, not only in the northern province, but also around the country. You have been to Gisozi Memorial Site, you have been to Western Province and visited Rubavu, the city of Rubavu, and I hope you had good time in our province. Otherwise, we'll have to invite you again and show you good time. So this is also an opportunity to thank Ines Ruhengeri, because you always are bringing answers to issues and problems the province is facing. Job creation, especially for our young people, being the majority actually of Rwandans. Connections, connecting graduates and employers, actually people in business. That's also important. So we are humbly thanking you, because you are always there whenever we have an issue troubling the community. You always find solution. So Ines Ruhengeri, thank you very much. My gratitude is also extended to our guests from different countries. I heard from Professor from Nigeria and the doctor from Kenya. You have enjoyed, you have appreciated at least the country, you loved the country. So, your speeches are encouragement for us. Then we want to do more for the community. But it's in the same line. Summer schools, research you are doing as universities, as researchers, should help us as decision makers, as people in local governance, to find solution, but also to know where we can emphasize and put more effort. So thank you very much for that, and sharing also your experiences from your home countries. That's also important. So today you are closing after 5 days. I have no doubt that you have learned a lot, but also you have shared a lot. We need to learn from each other. That's also important, so that the experience you have in your home countries can be used here, but also what you have learned here can help when you back to your home countries. So, Ines Ruhengeri, keep doing this, keep organizing events like this. And before I end my remarks, I would like to thank all the partners we have seen here who have worked hard so that this summer school be a successful story. Particularly, I would love to thank Professor Robert Capel and SEPT in general for this partnership. 10 years, it's something important. I think Father Fabian said it's only the beginning, but we appreciate what you have done in the last 10 years. So thank you, everyone. We hope some of you would stay longer to see much of our beautiful province, but also when you come back, please let me know, and I will show you good time in Msanzi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Governor. Dear Vice Chancellor of Ines Ruhengeri, we are here to hear from you your appreciation about the event, and in the end of your speech, at the end of your speech, we would like you to close officially this gathering of the whole week that we spent together as internationals and locals. Please welcome.
Honorable Governor, dear colleagues, or protocol observed, at the end of this week of intense activities, I wanted to conclude this event by trying not to repeat what have been said, which is an impossible exercise, because I think everything you can think of has been already said. So I start by repeating, thanking all of you. I wanted to thank the government of Rwanda. We can thank the government for so many things. I wanted to mention one. I hope our friends from these different countries will agree with me. This, dear Governor, this issue of visa facilitation has been a blessing for our guests. I think having this kind of movement within Africa especially, it's a good thing. So thank you so much for your effort in the government to do to make this happen. So I want to thank through Professor Robert Capel for this idea, SEPT, and then access, and especially the funds to make this happen, but also, and most importantly, for your presence with your team. Unfortunately, Professor Dr. Utz couldn't make it, but with you, we are with him. To the German delegation, thank you so much. We thank you from our hearts. All the delegations from Africa, we expected to have your delegations in good numbers, the teams complete, and you have done it. So thank you very much for being all here, both in Kigali and here in Musanze. Thank you so much. I will end by thanking the Ines founders. Why? Not only because they are here, but also this idea is entrepreneurial. They decided to innovate, to create, and they created this institution. This area was a bush before the coming of Ines here. Now we are moving towards a town here, and in this part of Musanze. So thank you so much for being here. I think if we are able to have some others like you, especially His Lordship Bishop Kizito is here, who initiated, who had this idea. I think he's a priest, then a bishop. He's not a businessman, he's not an entrepreneur, but this idea is from him. So this is wonderful, isn't it? I want to say, go and do the same. And for sure, where you are doing the same. You are creating, you are innovating, you are inventing good stories for the development of the areas where you are. I am not thanking the former Vice Chancellor, Father Dr. Fabian, but you have to recognize that he made, it was mentioned, he made all the possible, whatever was possible, to maintain this idea here at Ines till now. And his presence is a testimony of his dedication and his involvement in this project. Thank you so much. To the students, to end with, we love you. And this is why we invited you, and whatever these guys are doing here, it is because of you. We want to see you grow and create, innovate. Bring something different and do better. You do better, we believe so, better than what did Professor Robert Capel here. He invented this, we are here, we want you to do better. This is why he traveled from Germany to Rwanda to tell you that he wants you to do better than he did. Thank you for accepting this invitation. I hope you agree with me that you are going to do better. If not, we couldn't call you here. And so, on my behalf and on behalf of Ines as an institution, we want sincerely to thank you for coming here and make us great. Ines is great because of you, because of your presence during these 3 days you are spending here. This is an achievement. The entire community would like to thank you and to invite you to come again. This place, this campus has been created, has grown, and it's growing. We need you physically, we need your thoughts, and we need you to send most students here. This university is international in an African manner in the first place, because we have here more than 600 international students who are Africans, especially South Sudan, Chad, Gabon, Liberia, and so on. What is our joy is to see that to Rwanda come students from troubled countries like South Sudan. They come here because they think, and I think they are right, there is security. But not only security, they are not here to look for shelter. There is also knowledge. We are dedicated to giving knowledge. We already have from Nigeria. We want to have more from Kenya, not only students but also members of staff. We have members of staff from Kenya, from Uganda, from Burundi, from Congo. We want their governor to continue this idea of opening boundaries, not to close, to open. We continue to open boundaries to be much better. We wish it, and we think, we pray that God help us to continue being one family. I wanted to invite you today, this afternoon. We are preparing here, our sister from Kenya mentioned it, we are preparing here to have some kind of community gathering. We socialize, we dance, and we enjoy some, I want to say local beer. We have Skol is somehow local. Huh? We enjoy it. So come in numbers, you are all invited. We want to feast. Being here without feasting, it will be somehow missing something. Our friends from Germany, we are friends for so many years, starting from the first colonizers. We did not mention it so much, but yesterday I mentioned it. It was not just teasing someone, it was saying that anything we did in common, we did it together, has been a source of friendship, a source of coming together and staying together. From that time, I don't remember, it was 1880 something, up till now, we are with Germans and we are good friends. So thank you for continuing this friendship. At this note, I want to declare this session closed, wishing you to stay, not to go, to stay. We will have time to tell you goodbye when time will come, but for today, for tomorrow, and even after tomorrow, we are together. So feel at home. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Vice Chancellor. After this closing, we will have a group photo down there as we move towards the hotel for lunch. And I would like to inform you that on the social media, the first day we had 192 followers, and today we had 98 followers. 100 now? Okay. So that means we were not alone physically here, we were with others online too. wishing to follow what we are doing or what we were doing here. So the session has been closed. What we need to do is just to stand up and move. Dear students from STEM, stay here. We have a message for you. Others, please. Okay, take a photo, but come back here. Take a photo with us, then come back here. STEM students,